Daniel had always believed he didn't have enough time. Every morning felt like a race. He would wake up late, rush to the bathroom, skip breakfast, and hurry out the door with his shoes still untied. By the time he arrived at work, he already felt stressed and tired. One day, after arriving 5 minutes late to an important meeting, he realized something needed to change. That evening, Daniel sat on his bed and asked himself, what if I just wake up 10 minutes earlier? Would that make any difference? He wasn't sure, but the idea felt simple enough to try, so he decided to test it for 1 week. The next morning, Daniel's alarm rang at 6:50 instead of 7. At first, he wanted to stay in bed. However, he remembered his plan and slowly sat up. The house was quiet, the air felt fresh. He stretched his arms and took a long breath. For the first time in a long while, he didn't feel rushed. He walked to the kitchen, poured himself a small glass of water, and stood by the window. The sun was rising, and the sky was turning soft shades of orange and pink. He didn't do anything special. He just breathed and looked outside. Then he said to himself, "This feels nice." Later that morning, he left home on time, and he actually noticed the world around him. He saw a woman walking her dog, a man opening his cafe, and a child riding a scooter down the sidewalk. He smiled without even thinking about it. On the second day, waking up earlier was still difficult, but something inside him felt different. He made a quick cup of tea and sat quietly at the table. He didn't check his phone. Instead, he closed his eyes and let his mind wake up slowly. Because of this small moment of calm, Daniel started his day feeling more relaxed and in control. By the third day, Daniel began to appreciate those 10 extra minutes even more. He used them to think about his goals for the day. Sometimes he wrote them down. Other times he simply looked out the window and allowed his thoughts to settle. As a result, he felt clearer and more focused at work. His co-workers even noticed the change and asked him what he was doing differently. At the end of the week, Daniel looked back and realized that 10 minutes had changed his mornings completely. He felt lighter, calmer, and more aware of his life. It wasn't a huge change, but it was meaningful. One evening, Daniel told his friend, "Waking up 10 minutes earlier gave me something I didn't know I needed." His friend asked, "What's that?" Daniel smiled and said, "Time to breathe and think." And from that week on, Daniel continued waking up 10 minutes earlier, not because he had to, but because he wanted to start each day with peace. Before looking at the vocabulary, take the opportunity to check if you're subscribed to the channel, give it a like, and let's practice. He realized he needed to change his routine. Stretch. She stretched her arms after waking up. Quiet. The house was quiet early in the morning. Control. He felt more in control of his day. Notice. She noticed the warm sunlight on her face. Focus. He could focus better at work. Moment. He enjoyed a quiet moment by the window. Routine. His morning routine became calmer. Goal. He wrote down his goals for the day. Settle. He let his thoughts settle before leaving home. Simple. The idea was simple but powerful. Aware. He became more aware of his surroundings. Mind. His mind woke up slowly. Change. Small changes made a big difference. Breathe. He took time to breathe deeply.